AITA for taking my son to see my dad behind my wife's back. So this sounds wrong, I know, and many people will read the title and tell me I'm an a-hole. So my 29 meters wife 32F has recently, last 3 months, told me she would rather my dad see our kid 8 meters a lot less, and her reasoning is that he isn't a good role model. For some background, my dad's a complicated man. He was in the army when I was young and doesn't talk about it much. Her issue with him is what he teaches our kid. He's trying to be a good granddad and teach him some life skills, even if some I agree are a little advanced. For example, my son now knows how to change a light bulb, use a drill and a saw. This has all been taught by me and my dad. Recently we have been teaching my son how to box, and when my wife found out, she went ballistic, told me if I wanted to see my dad I couldn't take our son with me. Every Saturday we have a father-son bonding day, just us two, and ever since we've been forbidden to see his granddad, we now meet him early morning at the local park and either run some pad work or play other sports. He is very insistent that we shouldn't tell mommy, but I feel awful about lying and have told him that he should never lie. So am I the asshole for doing this? Edit. I've now told her the whole story. She said she figured me out on day 1 and felt bad for saying what she said, but letting me think I was able to be sneaky was funnier than apologizing. Edit. She has now pointed out to me that she has been making us 3 sandwiches for lunch this whole time and is laughing at me. Edit. She has now pointed out to me that she has been making us 3 sandwiches for lunch this whole time and is laughing at me. Thanks. This is now my favorite post. Looks like you have your answer, op. The edit is hilarious though. XD. This has got to be in the running for most wholesome ending. She made all 3 of you sandwiches this whole time? That's hilarious. Did you tell your dad you had an extra each day? Haha, you saved yourself from any judgment from me with that edit. YTA. Your wife is allowed to be concerned about what your father is teaching your son. I don't agree with her banning all contact, but going behind her back is an aw move. Yes. YTA. I also don't see an issue with the light bulb or using a drill. But boxing is something else. That's not something you teach without consent. The fact that he did that behind the child's mother's back makes me agree with her that he's not a good role model or a good grandparent. And now you and your dad are teaching your child to be dishonest with his mother. This is bad parenting and harmful. It could also be dangerous because it teaches your child it is okay to keep a secret from his parents, which might put him in danger for sexual abuse. I'm gonna say esh, though with that edit it seems judgment might no longer be necessary. Tears of joy. Lol at the edits. Sounds to me like your dad is trying to teach your kid manly things, like in the good old days. Be sure to also teach your son that it's okay to be and like and do all things, like frolicking in the meadows, learning how to sew, dancing, being vulnerable and honest, crying, and most importantly, not lying and going behind people's backs. Communication is key. YTA. But only a little bit. And you're owning up to it. YTA for making your kid lie to his mother. If a kid is taught that it is okay to lie to a parent, what's to stop another adult from convincing him to lie to both of you about what they are doing together in a much more sinister space? Don't go down this road, mate. It would be wiser to have a conversation with your wife about what stuff she would be okay with. Your son learning. I learned how to change a washer in a tap and fix a blocked kitchen drain from my dad, who taught his kids how to do stuff around the house so he could get us to do it while he played golf. Lol. And I'm glad I learned that. Are there ways your dad could pass on skills that are useful for life that your wife would be happy with? But don't get your kid to lie to his mom. That's plain wrong. Your wife is so kind. You did something she disapproved of and she still made sure you all were fed. Do you have any idea what a kindness that is? What kind of respect and tolerance that takes? Take that woman out for a nice dinner and give her extra lovings. Ha ha ha. I'm glad that it sounds like everything has been worked out. And I love that your man Braun never picked up on her making a sandwich for your dad too. LMAO. These comments, yikes. YTA. Not for what is being taught to your child. But the fact is you're lying to the mother of your child and teaching him to be deceitful while you're at it. You may not be directly telling him to lie, but he knows he's doing something his mom doesn't want him to do and feels like he needs to hide it. YTA for lying. You should be allowed to let your son see his grandfather. Your wife may not like it, but she can't unilaterally deny visitation with family. I don't see anything that your father is doing that is that bad. Your wife sounds overprotective, but don't lie and hide what you're doing. That second edit is gold, haha. I am going with you were in fact the asshole. You shouldn't lie to your wife and you certainly shouldn't teach your son that it is okay to lie. However, telling your wife puts you back into not the asshole. Your wife just laughing it off and covertly packing enough lunch for all of you is just pure genius. And you have a pretty awesome wife. Sounds like it just took her a minute to process some new information before looking at it. Objectively rather emotionally. Going forwards, be honest with each other. If this has taught you anything, it should be that you can trust each other with different opinions. Esh going behind her back isn't really that great. But also I don't think it's really fair that she can out and out decide that he can't really see your father. That being said, since it's been mostly resolved, I'm just going to have a giggle at that edit, tears of joy. 3 sandwiches. Your wife sounds awesome. Lying was an aw thing to do. But since the edit I'm just laughing. Looks like you were not fooling anyone anyway. Serious though. Both Yo and your wife need to discuss this stuff openly. Your dad is doing nothing wrong, but if she is concerned for safety reasons, maybe encourage her and your dad to talk more about it. Info. So my 29 meters wife 32F has recently, last 3 months, told me she would rather my dad see our kid 8 meters a lot less, and her reasoning is that he isn't a good role model. So when you then asked, why do you feel that he isn't a good role model, what was her answer? This is the nicest story in this subreddit. I love the 2 edits and that you actually talk to your wife like partners do. The fact she made 3 sandwiches cracked me up.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.